Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a rather sweaty Masks Monday because it's horrendously hot, and that's what we've been ranting about for the past 10 minutes. But we are up to session 42 of Mass of Nyarlathotep, and we are starting a new day in China. But before we do, let us go round the virtual table once again and introduce the players who are still with us. We have, first of all, knocking the microphone, Charles Barrington-Smythe.
Yes, this is Charles Barrington-Smythe, the functioning drunk, who has managed to, at least in the last few sessions, managed to keep all of his toileting to the actual water closet and not onto legal offices. You're never living that down. Ever.
That was so Hong Kong. We also have Mr. Perry Astor.
Canadian explorer and longest serving member of the groups at the moment, and sanest member of the group as well, despite anything that went wrong in Hong Kong.
Your time will come yet, I'm sure.
You said that with a straight face.
Smug git. And then we have Pranit Singh Dhillon.
Yeah, I mean, 95% sanity and still the one peeing on the carpet. That shows commitment. But my name is Pranit Singh Dhillon. I'm pissed. I am not the man I used to, even because I'm in definite insane now. And hopefully, nobody will take a wee in my doctor's office now here in Shanghai. We'll see, so that I can attend further sessions. We'll see.
Anyway, and finally we have Annie Jones.
Hello, my name's Annie Jones, an occult investigator and archivist for the Becky Foundation previously. Now I work with these people, and apparently I can make them urinate on demand.
Would you like to give a summary of what happened last session?
I mean, I could. Not a lot happened. Basically, Perry and Charles went to a bar. We knew it was a cult bar, so they immediately said, "Hi, we're friends of somebody you're hunting." Wasn't perhaps the best approach. Anyway, they arranged to meet the barman later for, to get shot in an alley. And there was this Japanese guy there. And for some reason, I don't know why or how, but all of our characters seem to have been birthed with the innate ability to tell a Chinese person apart from a Japanese person, despite the fact they're 1920s and, well, 3 of them were Western. So, but there was a Japanese person there who left the bar and he handed off a note to a Chinese person. Again, we were able to tell their ethnicity. Amazing. And so I pursued the Chinese person, and I pickpocketed that note straight back out of his pocket. And there was some shenanigans with them trying to shake our tail. And then we ended up back at the bar, decided to go back and find them, stumbled into both of them. As it happens, they'd met back up because they'd missed the note. And so the Chinaman was like, "Where's my note? I've lost it. Better go back and find the Japanese guy. I'll easily be able to find him because he's the only Japanese person I'll be able to see in China." So anyway, he said they meet up again, and that's when we spot them. So a chase ensued, which Perry and Pranit just left everyone else behind, and they caught them up they caught the Chinese man up in the harbour, I think, wasn't it? Was it harbour or river?
River.
Okay, in a river. And whilst in the river, they started interrogating him, although that didn't go terribly well. But luckily, I arrived on the scene and sorted it all out. So that happened. And then what happened? Oh, I remember what happened. Then Perry and you'll have to put the character names back on screen. Thank you. Perry and Charles, they went and met the barman in a back alley. Hello. Oh, well, hello later then, in that case, Matteo. And so, yeah, they met the barman in a back alley, and we got some information that Brady apparently isn't in Shanghai anymore. I'm not sure I believe that. Then I'm not sure I believe anything the barman says, because, frankly, I think the setup line for, we're looking for somebody you're trying to kill wasn't necessarily the one that was going to get them honest information. But anyway, they paid through the teeth for that information, and apparently Brady's moved on to somewhere that no other place has linked us to so far. It's where was it? It was
Rangoon,
yeah,
Burma.
in Burma, yeah. So yeah, little hope of that actually being true. So yeah, that was it. That's all we managed to achieve, because there was too much time spent base palming and making jokes about that time I managed to get somebody to pee on a carpet.
One thing I forgot to remind you of earlier was you also went to see the harbour master, who managed to identify the boat in the photograph.
Oh, that's true, actually. We did have a chat with him, didn't we? Yeah, we found out some stuff about that boat. We found out who owned it, which I've since forgotten. Let me see if it's in my notes.
Penhurst.
Yes, it's not related to the Penn Hugh Foundation. Oh, that's notes for the wrong campaign. Let me go to my folder. I do have notes, There's a chance they'll be relevant. There we go. It was Muk Chum was the name of the barman. See, I've got that in my notes. Brady has gone to meet a Charlie Gray. And now we found out some stuff about the new China army. Unfortunately, this is the entire information I've got. So, because for some reason my notes don't contain context. Chumin, new China army, morning, autumn tea house. Morning tea house every day.
That's right.
Okay.
So Captain Isagetaro believes that there's this small fanatical militia group called New China, who are possibly creating a machine or a weapon, and of course the Japanese are rather interested in this. And he thinks that Brady is possibly the key to getting into it, or linked somehow. But they also have a lead to, there's a warehouse where they possibly might meet, but also there's a man who's he thinks is a member called Chu Min, who goes to the autumn morning tea house every morning.
Notes are amazing, aren't they? Like they contain so little, no contextual information. They're like, okay, this note here, Madame with Spellbook Bundari Dream Voyage. I mean,
I understand that, but I also have context.
Say that line again.
Madame with Spellbook Bundari Dream Voyage. Now, I do happen to remember what that is,
like a prog rock album title.
It does a bit, doesn't it? But like that's the kind of notes I keep. They're really kind of meaningless unless you happen to the idea is it's supposed to be enough to jog the memory, but unfortunately it doesn't always happen.
No. Well, I have also updated the Miro board if you need to have a look for names and stuff. But anyway, give yourself a D10 of luck, Annie, and obviously improvement rolls as well.
Ivory Wind works for Ho Fong, was meant to stop here. Where's here? I don't know. Here is Shanghai. What does that note relate to Shanghai? I believe it does.
Oh yeah, you also asked the captain to basically go and try and find the Ivory Wind to slow it down even further.
Yeah. That's a lot of luck.
Okay, so do your improvement rollings.
I have done mine.
Rolling's done.
Good. And I haven't forgotten, Perry, about your not the face.
Well, what, sorry? Did you saying just went there a little bit? I think.
Yeah.
From the night before.
Yep.
So I believe sanity is all the same, so Annie should be on 56 sanity. What is your luck now?
60.
Oh.
I know, I gained loads. I'm well happy.
No group luck rolls for you then. Perry, you're on 95 as you previously gloated for your sanity, and you are on how much luck now?
31.
31, okay. Pranit, you're on 58 sanity.
Mm-hmm.
And what is your luck now?
36.
36. And Charles, you're on 54 sanity. What is your luck
Yeah.
now?
And my luck last week was 48, and after my improvement roll, it is now 49. One feckin' point.
Better than a kick at the bum. And Perry, because we're going into the next day, which is going to be the Thursday, you do get to heal 1 HP naturally.
Okay. So
Does that put you on
11.
Episode 11? Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. So it's Thursday, the 7th of May.
You also realize, Perry, that you are still the man. You're the man in charge of the group lock rules.
I do know that, but we stand a little bit more luck than we did last week.
Yes,
only just,
that is very
actually.
true.
Only just. You're still close behind Pranit, so it could be anybody.
It could be.
It could even change this session, depending. Okay, yes. So we start the next day, and a little bit like tonight, the humidity has continued. Wow, I've already got somebody leave. Continued through the night, so it's been a little bit hot and a bit of tossing and turning things, especially. You're just taking the piss now, aren't you? Especially for those of you of a slightly weaker mind than others. You start getting a little paranoid about people maybe being outside your hotel window, things like that, watching you and so on. As a little bit, you think possibly happened, whether you saw them or not, you just couldn't help but feel like there are all these groups and you might be watched by at least one, but you don't know.
Right. No, right. That's not paranoia. That's learned experience from Cairo.
It's
And
only paranoia if they're not out. to get
Exactly.
you.
It's not paranoia if it's true.
Okay, however you want to help yourself sleep at night. But anyway, so yeah, you wake up when the dawn comes, I guess. Little cooler now, fortunately. So you have a bit of time now to get breakfast and things, of course. Which, okay, yes, it's still sort of a very Chinese breakfast, so you're still getting used to the cuisine, but it's still very nice because you are in the fanciest hotel in Shanghai, which is definitely not a pattern at all in terms of your lodgings. But at some point or another, you get some correspondence. Now, here's a question which may seem irrelevant now, but it really, really isn't. Can people remind me of your appearances, please?
75.
Same here.
48. So sorry, 49.
55, but I have money.
Okay, that's fine. That is what I thought.
75, and I have his.
Okay.
75, and someone stole my sword, so I have less money now. Less possessions.
But anyway, over breakfast, you are approached by a member of staff who hands over two seemingly identical looking letters. They are basically very kind of petite, pristine looking envelopes, which are sealed with the impression of a swallow in flight. And there's definitely a scent of high quality perfume coming off each of them.
And who's addressed to?
Well, you only find out when you open them because there's nothing on the actual cover, as it were, of the envelope.
Oh.
They all read the same except for who they are addressed to, one of which is addressed to the voluptuous brown-eyed beauty, and the other is addressed to the bronze atlas with the sapphire turban.
Oh, I think they're both for you, Pranit.
Yeah. I know the fact I have on women, but what does the letter read? And hopefully they will not try to sell me tea.
Well, okay, just for clarification, you think that the voluptuous brown-eyed beauty is possibly more Annie than yourself.
Yeah.
But yes.
Point of view.
Both letters read the same. So they say, I cordially invite you to dine with me in the old city at the Oriental Pearl this evening. You may bring your associates should you wish, but I must reiterate it is you whom I am inviting. My request is mostly of a business nature, but I am wary of anyone who walks in my city with potential benefits to my enterprise. You are a highly sought-after individual, and I wish to speak further with you. And it is signed Madame Swallow.
I mean, I didn't have plans for tonight. What about you, Annie?
I think there's no questions as to whether she swallows or not, is there?
There is also this folded note with gold leaf borders enclosed with each of the letters.
I mean, the close-up on Annie's
You know-
face while she was
you know-
saying that was just golden.
I was gonna make a remark like that, and I thought, nope, it's beneath us in this group.
No, apparently not. But anyway, you get this note with gold leaf trim inside each of your letters, which says, "In the hunt, the wise king uses beaters on 3 sides only. Foregoing game that runs ahead, the quarry chooses its own fate."
Yeah,
Hang
there are
on,
several
I need
words
to make a
I
note of
gotta
that code.
translate in that.
Well, it won't make a word.
Oh, here query is intended as prey, right?
Yeah,
I
the
guess,
quarry.
given
Yeah,
the context.
yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, it's one of those English words with a couple of meanings on them.
and what about beaters?
Yeah,
Beaters are used in. This is where I do actually know my knowledge. In pheasant shooting, they go along and they beat the ground to make the pheasants fly, so the hunters can actually shoot.
All right.
That's what beater is. They beat the ground to make the fuckers fly.
I mean,
Okay,
yes.
I've picked up a secret code. If you take the first letter of all the words that don't begin with a red, you can make a 7-letter word there called outfoot, which is like an emotional state, isn't it? Right, and then if you take all the letters that do begin with red characters, you can spell rickshaw. I mean, there's some leftover characters here, I do admit, but you can spell rickshaw. So I think we have to take an emotional rickshaw.
Is that similar to going on a sentimental journey?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, a very slow journey though.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
but basically it's nonsense. There's leftover
Yeah.
characters. I got 7 letters on each.
The problem is that Q. Yeah, the Q. There was no U highlighted to make a word out of.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a word with Q in from that lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even use all of them unless there's multiple words, but then you're getting kind of a vowel shortage, to be honest. But it must mean something.
Can you pop that?
Yeah.
Can you pop that into
Oh yeah, the drive.
Facebook chat?
Oh yeah.
So I can,
What I'm thinking is that the wise king, allegedly, it may be a queen, the one that supposedly swallows and contacted us.
come in.
And the 3 beaters may be the factions involved: Chinese, Japanese, and cultists. So we are quarry. And that scares me a little bit, to be perfectly honest.
If we take that point of view on, then obvious it could be a note of some sort of threat as you choose your own path from here. It's your fault if you run yourself into danger, kind of a thing.
Well, basically, right. If we're being wise, we won't go chasing what's immediately in front of us. Instead, we will, like the quarry, the thing we're after is choosing to reveal itself to us. That's her. She's choosing to reveal herself to us. And we maybe shouldn't go through the front door. This is as much as I can work out. Because what I do think this relates to Bandari's dream voyage with the madame that had the spell book that can remake the capstone.
It's possible.
No, it is. It's her. It just is. I've decided.
Yeah, I'm sure the keeper will now turn the story around accordingly with what you decided.
Well, I think we should take the capstone with us.
No, I do not think so.
It's not much good to us, is it, from what we learned?
But the half isn't, no, but we need to say, we need to make one of these, but like complete. This is only half of it. It's broken. Things are bad. Save the world. Come on, get with the program.
Yeah, still we don't know about this woman. What we know is that she's trying to collect the books. We don't know for what end. If the end is to destroy them so that nobody could possibly make a whole capstone again. Oh yeah, we got this. Oh yeah, amazing.
That is a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to go full Françoise on this, but that sounds stupid. On the first dinner, at least.
Well, it's not as stupid as going into the Stumbling Tiger bar and saying, we're looking for Brady.
Yeah, still we need to show them that not only we are better looking, but we are
may
better
have come
behaving.
across as unorthodox, but it produced good results.
Can I just interject and say that you also said this in the Hong Kong bar? Like, we're looking for Brady, this man here.
Yeah, see, it's a proven, tested, working system. Nothing went wrong in Hong Kong either.
No, in Hong Kong, I believe what actually happened is I held a picture up which included Brady and said, do you know any of these people?
You asked the barman about Brady, I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
But anyway.
No, I was showing a picture. I said, do you recognize any of these people if they've been there? Because we knew in that case that Brady and Thing had been there. But the thing is, we didn't say, we were on safari with Brady. He's a personal friend, a close personal friend. In fact, I believe is the exact quote.
And yet for some reason you weren't in the picture.
Because I was taking it, he said.
Which was a pretty good reason for not being in the picture, as far as I'm concerned. That was a smart bit of...
Could have said, do you know any of these people?
We could have, but, quite frankly...
Anyway, right. So the letter says we've got to go to a place tonight for dinner with her, right? But it also says don't go directly there. Check out how to get here. Like, don't take the direct route. Like, otherwise, Beta goes in 3 directions. I don't know. It sounds like a masturbation reference to me, and she is a madame. So what am I to say? But basically, I think we should get on a depressed rickshaw and head over there early to check the place out and do some recon.
But you do know that that all those rickshaw drivers do all day is pull around annoying snobs who treat them like shit. They're all fucking depressed. That's not narrowing it down.
I don't think we need a specific one as long as it's emotionally unstable.
Again, could be all.
Relatable.
Oh, if any other mask keepers are watching this, I'm very sorry.
You should no. See. This is the thing. I was trying to tell somebody last week. One of the things about any game, especially a published scenario, is your players. No published scenario ever is ever going to account for every possible permutation and
indeed.
thought that a bunch
Yes.
of players are going to come up with. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of it for me.
But anyway, apart from
Right.
that slight curveball I've given you, what is the plan for this morning?
Go and recon this place.
So you want to go direct to this restaurant first, okay?
I want to check it out. I want to check her out. I want to find things out.
What about the tea house?
Yeah, somebody could do that.
I suppose we better find out where it is as well, Charles, so we can go and rescue them later.
Right? So Annie and I are going to the restaurant and do a little bit of a recon, while Perry and Charles are going to the tea house.
Is that wise? Should we maybe put the smart people with like mix one with
Ouch.
You know, I've come to the conclusion that I'm just not going to have any testicles at all by the end of this campaign, due to the weekly emancipation that I'm going through. Emancipation,
If you want one of us,
emasculation.
I was just joking. I'm sorry. It's too hot. Come on.
Where is that map?
Sorry, I should be in character.
Is that wise?
I think so.
Wise.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I'm almost tempted that maybe we should all go together. Just do a round trip of it.
But
Well, we have to do the tea room in the morning.
Yeah, let's do a round trip of it. Well, you know, this place where you've been invited for a meal. I mean, we can just do a quick sweep of that place, either on the way to or the way back, or a long round trip, whatever. You know, let's all do it together.
Well, they obviously know there's four of us. They know where we are.
Where is this map?
Well, if she's a madam, perhaps Charles and Perry, you could inquire about her at some of the brothels around the city. See what you can learn.
Ew.
We have absolutely no hint of this. We're just assuming.
Well, dear boy, I am prepared to take a hit for the team and discover whether or not there's any valid evidence that she is in fact a madame.
She signed her letter, Madame.
So what?
It's not in French.
No.
Oh.
There's no E.
What?
Would our guide know anything? He did know about the other brothel and the girls going missing.
There's no E.
There's no E, which means it's not madame, it's madam.
It's madam. Yes, it's a title.
Oh.
Well, as in, like you said, it's not French.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. See, I don't know how either of them are spelled.
Exactly the same, except madame's got an E at the end.
Yeah, but which one's Madame?
The one with the E at the end.
Thank you. That clears it up.
It's madame with an E and madam without it.
You can speak to Lee if you want, see if he knows anything.
Lee.
That's
Your
our translator.
comprador.
Yeah,
Translator.
our guide.
Oh yeah, Li Wencheng.
Because he did know about the other brothel when we asked him about the girls going missing.
I strongly suspect this meeting will be about the girls going missing. And let's be honest, this cult has kidnapped people before, so it could well be interrelated.
Yes.
Almost definitely.
So,
We've
Charles
also-
and Perry, your mission is to go to the brothel that had the woman, well, that had the sign of the policeman earlier, that had, was wiping the blood off his hands. I need to go to that brothel and investigate.
Oh, okay.
we will do a very in-depth search. No nook or cranny will be.
Careful how deep you go. That is technically necrophilia at that point. They may not cater to that.
I wasn't going to investigate. I'm not that drunk.
Wow, you mean that's something
It's only
you
9
do
in the
when you're
morning.
drunk?
Yeah, he does get that.
No, but I did see Tompkins do something with a pig one time. It wasn't very nice, and I've never went anywhere near. What's it? Not Tompkins. No, Cameron. That's who it was. Yes.
What is with these prime minister references? You're giving them ideas for the future.
What the fuck is this session today? What the fuck?
This is what happens when several brains have been cooked and the IQs have dropped off sharply.
Right, so
Yeah.
right. It's too hot, and I'm drinking now in the hope that that helps. I haven't slept. I've done a day's work, and I'm sweating whilst not exerting myself.
Okay.
That's what's with it.
I'm just seeing what actual locations are on the keeper's map because they're not all there. Of course they're not.
I'm looking at
Okay.
that. I guess with regards to that note, I'm still looking at that note. I think it comes down to whoever is being referred to as the quarry. Whether the quarry is who we're going after or whether the quarry is...
Yeah, I really cannot tell.
Because if the quarry is someone else, then yeah, maybe it's a hint as to how we'll find them. If the quarry is us, maybe it's a subtle threat.
Or maybe
walk away now, or you're completely, walk away now, or it's on your own head.
more likely it's referring to what happens to the girls that get taken, that have gone missing.
Entirely possible, but it's written in extremely ambiguous English. It's open to interpretation, which I've got a feeling won't make any sense until we speak to this madam.
Right. Well, I think you two should go and investigate that. And Pranit and I will go to this autumn morning tea house, see what we can learn about Chu Min, who we believe is a cultist. So we won't be going up and saying, "Do you know Brady?"
All right.
Well, you see, if you do say that, and you see a flash of recognition in his eyes, then it will confirm his cult status. Sometimes you have to be the drum.
Annie, sorry. Does that mean that I'm part of the smart group?
Yes.
Are we the smart group? All right.
Yes. We're sending those two off to get laid, and we're going to do the work.
All right. So I'm in the loser group.
Oh, and you're the smart group.
The nerd group.
It is a great.
No, it's like school.
But more boring because I get to here.
It is a greater thing I do now than I have ever done.
Right. Well, which group would like to go first?
Let's stick with a smart group, mostly because if we wait,
Aw.
well, no, the way the heat is cooking tonight, if you wait, if you wait for us, by the time we bluster our way through things, the IQs might have dropped off slightly.
A question
Yeah, I
that
can't even finish sentences now. I'm just
maybe I forgot about last week's session. We don't have any mean to recognize this man we're looking for. Is that correct?
No.
We have no pictures, no general description. We are just going in there, dicks out, and hopefully everything will turn out okay. Is that correct?
Those
Right.
are your words.
Yeah. Again, are you sure we are the smart group?
Well, he goes there every day, so we should at least go there and have a look at the people in there, and then worst case scenario, we can always go tomorrow and see who's back again.
But like, guess who?
Yeah.
The shop edition.
That's worst case scenario.
All right.
Best case scenario is there's a list of reservations, and we can look down the name and see what table is at, or we can have a word with a waitress. I don't know how it works. What's in a tea house? I guess tea.
All right, so you head to the tea house, or rather, you kind of have to ask around about where this autumn morning tea house is first of all. But it's not too far away from you. It's back towards Lantern Street-ish. It's near to the General Hospital, basically, number 5. So it's still within the international settlement. It's actually quite a small establishment, quite cozy, and it's very well lit when you go in. Fairly basic tables, but there are sort of nice silk cushions at least. And there's a little cashier till place where they take orders and things like that. And they also have a couple of girls going around taking orders as well from clientele and things. So it's there's, let's say, 5 or 6 people in here at the moment, so it's fairly quiet.
Yeah, what do you think? It's better we approaching the barman or whatever you may want to call it, or just take a seat and have a look around?
So, right, okay. So there's half a dozen people in here, but we can see everyone that's in here, which means we can't just go, oh, has Chu Min been in yet? Are they all facing away? Like, who's facing toward us?
There's a okay. Let's say that there's 4 people facing towards you. There's let's say there's a group of 3 on like a sort of a larger table having tea. 3 businessmen, you think. Another man who's eating alone. He's got some sweet cakes and also some tea. Let's say.
Okay, all right. I'll signal the waitress.
Okay.
I'm so
Not
sorry. Oh, do you speak English?
Yes, little English. Yes.
Oh, good. I'm so sorry. I've left my glasses at home, and I'm trying to see. Has Chu Min been in yet?
You Chu Min?
Yes.
Oh, she looks at the man eating alone, and says, gestures over to him.
Oh, thank you. And then I'll.
And then you
I'll
put
go
your glasses back on.
Should we get going, darling? And I take you under my arm so that I can lead you to the table.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, I thought we were going to catch up with Chu. Okay.
Yeah, we are going to the table.
Oh, we're going to that table, right?
Yeah, I'm
that
leading
makes
you
more
to the
sense.
table so that you don't
Right.
trip over chairs.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Oh, right. I'm glad you explained that because I completely forgot about the whole glasses premise.
2 seconds ago.
We are the smart group, guys. Here we come.
God. Okay, well, what I'll say is while Annie is trying to faff around with the glasses story and just being completely inconsistent, Pranit, give your spot hidden a tick if it isn't already. As you
Yay.
start approaching the table and you see more about who this man looks like and things like that. One thing that catches your eye, he's very, very subtle about this, but he takes what appears to be, or he's holding a bit of rice paper in his hand. But it's as if he just glances at it as if either there's maybe a picture on or possibly even a bit of writing before he eats it quite quickly.
Mhm.
So that we are totally clear, are we sitting at this table?
I think we are now, yes, and I think we're the quarry.
Well, you can sit at his table if you really want to. So I have a picture of him for you somewhere.
Maybe if we give a little, we can take a bit more.
I'm sorry, I didn't get what you said. Do you want to
I
sit
was
near my
thinking.
table?
Yes, sure. We can sit at his table.
So he's in his mid-30s or so, wearing one of these caps, basic clothing. He sort of mid-drinking tea out of this small cup, and when he sees you just sit down straight away, he immediately moves his hand around either to grasp his chair or to possibly put his hand on a gun, something like that,
Mhm.
and says, "Who are you? What do you
Oh,
want?"
hello. Hello, Jumin of the New China Army. I was hoping we could help each other.
I don't know what you're talking about. And he starts getting up to leave.
Well, I have information which I know you want to hear.
But I mean, if you still want to play the part of the stupid with us, that's totally fine. That's a loss on you, though.
Is that an attempt at a persuade roll?
Yeah,
I
I have
guess.
information I know you want to hear.
All right.
And
You can give me a persuade roll with a bonus die since you're technically helping each other, but
yeah,
whether you
we're
can
on the
hold
same.
yourself or not, we shall see.
Please go, Annie.
I passed. I could upgrade it to a hard if needed.
Okay. He doesn't sit back down, but he does put his hands on the chair and leans in and says, "What sort of information?"
Well, about who is following you and what their suspicions are. The question is, what do you have for me?
Well, nothing. I have no idea who you are.
Yes, you do. Your details are on the rice paper you swallowed. Question is, why?
Please have a seat.
No, they're not. You have no idea who you're dealing with.
I do. I'm dealing with Chu Min of the New China Army.
Look how scared you are, though. Yeah, we know who we are dealing with. It's you that don't have a shadow of intelligence on who we are. So I suggest you take a seat.
Fine, I am willing to hear your testimony.
I am a representative from Gavagal, Penhue Foundation in London. Have you heard of us?
I may have done.
This is my assistant Pranit. I believe we are all on the same side here.
You tell me.
Well, we have information which concerns the health of the church. I say, doing air quotes very deliberately.
Hmm. But you say you work for Gavigan.
Yes. I am one
And
of his
why?
researchers.
Then why are you not at church yourself?
Because stuff happens outside of the church as well. You should know.
I am here to... Well, we are here to liaise with the local branch.
Then why have you come to me? Go speak
Well,
to
you're-
Hofon.
Well,
I don't think we are on the same side. I really don't.
why do you say that?
Because you work for Gavigan, and I am the new China army.
Yes, that's a branch of the cult, is it not?
What kind of question is that?
I thought you didn't know anything. You still don't. Now those two can do funny reactions. in the background.
Yes, they can. Hey, look, we were coming in blind here. It's not bad. Let's see what we've learned already. We're making progress. Now, sorry, what was the prompt again?
Hold on, let me just make a quick roll. Okay. I can't work you out. I can't work out whether you are just incredibly blissfully ignorant. Maybe it is the heat. It is hotter than it usually is. Or maybe you're just trying to mess with me. I don't know.
We're not here to mess with you, Chu. Or is it Min? I'm not sure which way round does it work here.
Mr. Chu.
Mr. Chu.
Bless you.
Do you actually say that in front of him?
No, of course I do not.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, it was me or Ronnie. It was me or Ronnie, guys.
Well,
Ronnie wouldn't have done that. I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
don't dig yourself further into that deep hole.
All right.
There's no minimizing this.
No.
Where were we again? Sorry. Got distracted by a Thomas the Tank Engine joke.
What did I say?
I'm tuning now, I tell you, absolutely tuning.
Yeah, it just told us that we are blissfully ignorant. We have no idea what we're dealing with.
Or that you're messing with him.
Okay, look, if I'm honest, I don't like being honest, but I'm not entirely sure who the new... What's it called again? Because it's literally, this is a heat forgetting. I'm not exactly entirely sure what the new China Army's position is with regards to the cult. You're communists, right?
Not entirely, no. We don't have to be communist. We just want a better China, a new China. We want to get rid of the corrupt underbelly, the old traditions. We want to start in Shanghai.
Right. Okay. But you obviously knew about the cult because you mentioned Mr. Feng.
You mentioned the cult, not me.
Yes, but you mentioned Mr. Feng, who is somebody who I am aware of as being a cult member.
Mr. Ho has affiliations with such people, yes.
Yes.
We do not. We keep out of their way.
Ah, so you're good guys in essence. Interesting.
I like to think so.
Okay, but you were building. Well, here's the
Put
thing.
hands in front to try and stop you talking.
Yes, okay, you're absolutely right. I shouldn't talk about that here.
You've already said way too much.
Yes. I think we should meet in private.
At least tell me one thing. How did you come to know about what we are doing?
That's the bit I think you really need to hear, but we should discuss that here.
Meet me at this address. And he passes, he sort of writes it down on a piece of paper, let's say, the address basically for this warehouse that Isugetaro had a hunch about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, we already have that one. When?
Could you do later today, tomorrow? We do not have much time.
We could maybe fit you in the afternoon, I think. Hello, Jefferson.
Donizetti. A new person. Sorry, to say afternoon?
Yeah, we could possibly do the afternoon. I think we still have time, don't we, going around all the places, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. I will see you then. When you get
who's
to the
eating
door...
this slip, by the way? Is that you? Why don't you eat it? I don't want to. I don't like paper.
It's not rice paper. He says, when you get to the front door, ask for me.
Will do.
Will do.
Mr. Chu.
It gives you a bit of a dubious look. You definitely think he doesn't fully trust you yet.
How could he?
Is anybody else coming with you? Is it just you two?
We don't think we need anyone else. We can handle ourselves. I'm sure you'll outnumber us, whatever happens.
Very much so. We are a well-trained militia.
Undoubtedly so.
And he gets up and leaves without a word.
Well, that's slightly terrifying because I really should have insisted on somewhere neutral, but oh well.
Shall we move on to the not smart group now?
The B team.
Oh, I was in the...
Oh God, that was one joke. It's stuck, isn't it?
Okay, so...
there are moments that are just... I said yesterday that I, on a post of Jason's the other day, that I really don't engage much in Schadenfreude, but by God, sometimes it feels good.
I would if I was in your position right now. Definitely. So you wanted to go to the place on Lantern Street where there was this sort of violence that took place, right?
I put in the chat, do we have the name of any of the young girls that have, the girls that went missing?
No specific names, no.
We haven't asked, though.
No, you haven't, to be fair. You haven't asked for any specific names.
I'm just wondering if it's been reported in the newspapers.
Well, our guide seemed to know something.
Oh, that's an
Yeah.
interesting idea.
Well.
Well, my thought, Phil, is if we go into this brothel, if we choose one of the girls that have gone missing very recently, we go in with the ruse that a friend of ours was here a couple of months ago. The girl that he was with, and we name her. He said that she was wonderful and lovely. Could we possibly see her?
The only thing I thought our guide, I can't remember what he's called now. I thought you said
Lee Wen Chung.
I thought you said that the girls went missing on the way to the brothel.
Yes, when they were sold to that brothel, they went missing. I mean, if you did want to have a look, in newspapers, back editions, and so on, there are a few places. One which actually isn't too far away from your hotel, called the Shanghai Courier,
I'm
which
tempted
is great.
to take Lee and have a go. That's kind of put a bit of deflated my idea a little. I thought we could use the name of that person, because obviously they would say, "Oh, she's no longer here," and we would say, "Oh, why?" And hopefully get a conversation going and use that as our as our way in.
But you haven't got a
we-
name,
we-
yeah.
we
We
can
don't have a
always-
name.
We can always say we're looking for that person. We can always pretend we don't know she's missing.
That's true.
The last we heard, she was coming here,
Yes.
so that still works.
Yeah.
But I think getting some background would be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do with our guide.
Yeah.
I know there's probably English language versions of the newspapers, but quite frankly, I have a feeling that this sort of crime is probably going to be reported more in the local press rather than the English language versions. I have a feeling the English language versions will only be interested in the crimes that affect the English language people.
Very possibly. So are we taking the translator with us?
Yeah, I don't think we got a choice. Well, I mean, we could buy an English language version of the newspaper, but we run the risk that it's not going to get reported there.
I could actually do with a quick bathroom break because all that drink's gone right through me. Do you want to take a quick break now, or do you want to carry on and I'll be like literally 2 seconds?
Well, you can if you want to. It's all right with me. What do
Sorry.
you want to do, Ronnie?
Sorry. Yeah, it's fine to break now, so that
Break up a dude. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
7-5.
Okay.
Hello, Becky.
Hello.
Hello. I really shouldn't do that.
what?
That's not fun on the throat.
It's not fun to hear it.
Oh, right. That thing.
That's very true. Yes. My voice is tonally deaf enough without me sort of adding extra tonal deafness to it.
I was just getting Kitty some more water.
Oh, thank you,
That was a bit
babe.
late. That's okay.
Although compared to the Neds, my accent is quite musical in comparison.
The who?
Ned?
Ned is the Scottish equivalent of a chav. And basically, you can always tell a Ned here in Scotland because they talk through their nose.
All right.
Can that read you cannot read your done I can I
Okay,
You
that's
know,
enough, Ned, or I have to mute you.
I have to live with that 24/7 at times. It's not fun.
Have you tried not being a Ned?
You can't understand a word.
I'm not a Ned.
He's not a Ned. He's in the B team. I also picked this up, which I thought was pretty cool. Maybe for a couple of sessions ago, but looks very Cthulhu-y.
Oh, it's Pranit's sword.
It's a trident.
It's trident.
Yeah, but it's lost at sea.
Oh.
It's
I
trident
see.
tested.
Although, to be fair, who was it who had the Biden in the other Cthulhu campaign? Was it Phil?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. See? Good old Mygo Biden. Anyway, okay,
I
so
remember Biden.
you're gonna head to the newspapers, are you not, to
Yes.
have a little look through and see if you can get some more info and stuff. Coolio. Okay, yeah. So the Shanghai Courier, and you go with your translator as well. I know you wanted to do that. It is, from what you can see, it is basically a dual language newspaper, both in English and Chinese. Yeah, so it's sort of quite a prestigious looking place for a newspaper, you think, in here. And there's a fairly young man who greets you in English straight away when you go in into the nice, there's a nice fan going on, so it's a bit cooler in here today. Let's see, where is he? No, that's definitely not him. He introduced himself as an Anthony Chang, smartly dressed in pretty much Western clothing, actually. So sort of suit and tie, tidy hair and things.
Morning now.
Good morning to you. What can I do for you? Do you need today's newspaper, sirs?
Not so much today's paper as recent papers. My friend and I were talking. We'd heard about these strange disappearances.
What sort of disappearances?
Young ladies disappearing.
Ah, you mean a certain sort of lady? Do you mean like a flower girl?
Yes, that sort of thing. Yes.
Yes, that has been happening recently, I'm afraid to say.
Well,
you won't find any flower girls here, I'm afraid, gentlemen.
We didn't.
More's the pity. No. I must admit, I have a lot of time of my hands back home, and I find myself somewhat intrigued by the lurid details of crimes and disappearances in London. And I must admit, the I'm afraid that same fascination has sort of followed me here. I'm very intrigued by reading some of the articles about it.
Well, yes, I can. I'm sure I can dig some out. Some are quite recent, after all.
Thank you, most kind.
Let's have a look. So he starts going through some of the archives. How far are you wanting to go back?
Oh, were there a lot? Has it been going on for a while?
Well, no. Only recently, but at the same time, I just mean in general, in terms of wanting to peruse the archives.
Let's like my old schoolmistress used to say, let's start at the beginning. Shame what happened to her.
Why? What did happen to her?
I don't know. It involved a hobby horse and a great deal of that's very sorry memories.
Fatal hobby horse accident.
Yes. There's been various strange things going on recently, but yes, the girls have been mainly disappearing from Lantern Street, one of the most popular brothel houses or set of houses in the Kaoyang district. And so he does find he sort of leaves through, and he finds an article from a couple of days ago.
Okay.
So let's see. Let me just double check. This one definitely mentions it. Okay. He says, well, this is the most recent. It is not a case of they went missing, but bad things happened to them. I don't know if you've been in the area recently. But when you read it, you realize that yes, actually you have. You've seen the building, and you saw the police officer wiping his hands on the bloodied rag and so on. And you assume it's this building. So it says, police report murders at a premise at 88 Lantern Street sometime after midnight last night, a couple of days ago. The victims were identified as Miss Reparator Wong, resident at the address, and Mr. Chin Si Chu, whose address was unavailable at the time of publication. Lantern Street habitués, normally not noted for compassion, were taken aback by the cruelty of the crimes. One witness was so distraught that she identified the killer as a giant bat. Police Inspector Chong indicates that the slayings were unusually violent. He requests anyone with knowledge of either Miss Wan or Mr. Chin to make themselves known to his inquiry.
So
there's some interesting nocturnal animals in your place.
Well, I do not frequent such areas myself, but at the same time, yes, there have been rumors of. I have heard this giant bat thing before, but I do not believe it. It is obviously superstitious.
You're probably right.
When you went to find this cutting, you said there were other strange things going on, more than this and the bat.
Yes, I have not written an article, but yes, like you said about other girls going missing, I have heard that there is another brothel who has received quite a shortage of them recently. I am possibly going to look into that further, depending if it holds up. But yes, there's also been. Well, let me find it. There's been some damage. Perhaps it is this large bat again, but there has been damage at one of the seamen's clubs. Let me just get that up quickly. Here we go. This is from about a week ago. Seamen's Club damaged. A portion of the Seamen's Club was destroyed late last night. Inspectors report considerable damage to the riverside of the institution, in excess of £8,000 sterling, according to the underwriters. No injury or loss of life is reported. According to unconfirmed, though informed speculation, seepage undermined a portion of the embankment area upon which the club stands, causing the collapse. Revelers from nearby taverns who were congregating along the riverbank at the time of the incident swear that strange creatures emerged from the water shortly before the building came down. The revelers' stories, while far-fetched, were a momentary relief to the risky business of sorting through the rubble.
Interesting.
That certainly is strange.
Very interesting indeed. Yes. I do apologize for my fascination with these articles. As I say, I do find the lurid details somewhat enjoyable. Don't know what that says about my character. Something to bring up with my therapist next time, I think.
None of these strange creatures were traced, obviously.
No. No, of course not.
8,000 pounds sterling in the 1920s. And that's not chicken feed.
Far
At
from it,
all.
sir.
That's an insane amount of money.
Oh,
That's me speaking out of character. That's an insane amount of damage. 8,000 pounds in the 20s. That's flipping. Jesus. I'm surprised there's any of the building left.
He turns back to you, Charles. You, the two of you do not know an Indian gentleman, do you?
Oh, I know a few Indian gents. I spent time in the Raj, you know.
Oh, one specific. He was in Egypt not so long ago, in Cairo.
Cairo? Oh, that place with the Sphinx.
It's quite away from here.
Yes,
I suppose it's possible.
it certainly is. But just the way you acted about the bat, I could see upon your face. It is as if this is not the first time you've heard this story, and it just reminded me of a friend of mine in Cairo, who is still here thanks to this Indian man, and I just wondered if you knew him.
Oh,
Yeah,
what's your friend called?
Mr. Nigel Wasif.
Yes, we do.
You do know him, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Yes, he well, whether he heard you talking or not, I'm not sure, but he sent me a telegram a few weeks ago to perhaps look out for the 3 or 4 of you. I don't know if there's another one of you now that you've picked up. He did mention something about a very posh lady dwindling around his establishment.
Yes. I'm afraid she's no longer with us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yes, that's an interesting connection. He's very well guessed we're coming here. That's quite clever of him. I don't know how obvious we were about them.
Well, we are journalists. We are well connected, and we can deduce very well what people are up to.
Yes. So you know we're interested in strange happenings and any sort of events that may go unreported in the newspapers.
Yes. And you'll have to excuse me because I am a skeptic of such things. But like I said, that reminded me of what he talked about. He also talked about a large bat flying over Giza and the Sphinx.
Yes. Well, we can confirm that he's accurate in his description.
I would
see.
also suggest that the revelers and their witness account of what they saw at that building, I would suggest not to dismiss that quite so quickly.
And why is that?
Because they may not be lying.
Well, they might not be, but at the same time, if we do not have any evidence or even any eyewitness accounts, then we cannot print any words, can we?
Oh, you have eyewitness accounts. You've just chosen to conveniently ignore them due to their inebriation. Let me assure you that inebriation does not impede
No.
anything whatsoever. I can
No.
attest to that.
Far from it, sir. We do not deliberately ignore people, but at the same time, we are a prestigious newspaper within an ever-changing Shanghai, and we do not want to possibly print anything so controversial that the wrong eyes start looking at us, if you know what I mean.
No, completely understand what you're saying, but if you have any reports of this nature, we'd be extremely interested in seeing.
Yes, very interested indeed.
Well, for the moment, this is all I have, nothing more specific than this, but I am intending to look further into these, especially, like I said, with Lantern Street. Because, okay, it could easily be the Green Gang, and at the same time, given what you told me, it might not be.
It sounds like an awful lot of damage for a gang to do.
Very true, but the Green Gang does own plenty of brothels.
Okay, so you think it might be a turf war between gangs or something?
Quite easily. There are many gangs. The Green Gang is simply the largest one.
Okay. Do we need anything else here, Ronnie?
I don't think so.
You wanted a name. We got a name.
We wanted a name. I mean, I would have preferred a name for one of the girls that have went missing from the brothel.
You can say you want to see this.
Well, you've got one of the girls who was killed. You've got her name at least.
Yeah.
Which is Reparator 1.
Reparator 1.
Yeah, and Mr. Chin Si Chu, who you think was her client at the time. So you could easily start with that.
Any more information that you come across from your archives and so on, we would be extremely interested in perusing.
Yes, well, like I said, when I obtain more information and when it comes to print, you are more than happy to read it, sirs.
This is where I get out the wallet.
I don't really know why you're bribing me. There's not really much point. I don't have much information.
I'm not bribing you, sir. I'm paying for, let's just say, prior to first edition information.
Oh, I see.
And as we said,
that's a little different.
Anything that doesn't quite make it into the paper.
Yes. Speculation, supposition, the sort of things that you are not willing to print as yet in your prestigious newspaper, but you may find that you may consider we would find interesting. As I say, this is not a bribe. I am merely paying for first edition before the first edition.
Yes, I understand. Do you have an address that I may
Give
contact
them
you
the
at,
name of
or
the
a phone
hotel.
number?
Give them the name of the hotel.
Okay. Good hotel.
If he leaves the information.
Yes, I can leave it with
desk.
a concierge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you've been very helpful. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you so very much.
You're very welcome. And if you do see the Indian man, give him my regards.
I most certainly will.
The world is better because Mr. Wasif is alive.
Yes, he's exceedingly nice chap.
I may see you later then, gentlemen.
Yes.
Certainly, yes.
Head out the door.
Mhm.
Lean up against the wall and take one great big exhale. We just can't seem to get a break. Just when we think we might just have a bit of quiet.
I rolled a 1 in psychology for that. Oh dear.
Are we going to 88 Lantern Street now?
Yeah. I'd like that to be honest, given everything we've just gotten. I'm almost tempted to say we should swing by and talk to Annie and Pranit first.
Well, I have to clear our information with the A team, obviously. So we.
Well, absolutely, yes. We I'm not quite sure which members of the A team they are.
Or maybe it's the first 16.
Well, I was thinking BA, Hannibal, Face, Murdoch. You know which one.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Okay, well, we can do. I mean, if they're finished at the tea shop.
Yeah, I think it's worth.
Yeah.
I think it's worth mentioning our sort of newspaper contact and sort of bring them up to speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for game purposes, you'll finish roughly around the same time. So yeah, that's fine. You can convene back at your hotel. Have a wee chat in your rooms.
Yes.
Yes, we've had a very interesting discovery at the newspaper. We're gathering some background.
Yes, indeed. It would appear the newspaper proprietor is an old friend of Mr. Wasif back in Cairo. He sends his regards, by the way, Pranit.
How possibly could he know we are here?
Yeah. Oh, I was well aware. I was trying to keep it close to the chest.
Did we spare a cultist?
No, it appears Mr. Wasif, the newspaper man you saved back in Cairo.
Yeah, I know who Wasif is. I also now know what Wasif knows, and I'm not thrilled.
Who is this Wasif?
So someone we met in Cairo, and
Well, I get that.
he was attacked.
Yeah, it was a journalist, and our
Wait.
liaison of him.
Quiet, Pranit. Perry was giving the important information. Sorry, he was attacked.
He was attacked, but Pranit was actually close by and saved him.
Oh, I see.
Attacked by the cultist in Cairo, and
because
he was helping us at the time.
I understand. Brackets, remember, close brackets.
It would appear that the proprietor of the newspaper here and Mr. Wasif are old friends, colleagues at least. And Mr. Wasif has been talking.
Well, good. That must have put you in good stead to get lots of very useful information. Have you been to the actual brothel yet?
Not
to,
yet.
ask around. Okay, so you failed on that.
No, we're on the way back to the brothel. We have to come
You know,
past
it's the polite voice, and I can just hear that tinge of French coming through.
Yep.
No,
Me
the
too.
reason we have not went to the brothel first is that we thought we would appraise you of the information we got from the newspaper man before we headed off.
Well, I'm glad you've had ideas and pursued them, and got the information that there's a brothel that had somebody murdered at. That's great. I believe you were intending to go to the brothel, though. Yes.
We are going.
Yes, afterwards.
But also you got to know this back
You know,
thing
Miss Jones. I know you're desperate for us to go screw ourselves, but let's get the information out first.
Well, if that's your pet name. So,
right. First,
Pranit and I have a rather dangerous mission. We've made contact with the new China army. It turns out they are a militia, well armed and trained, apparently. Anyway, Pranit and I are going to go into the Hell's Mouth, I think. There's not a lot of point trying to back us up. If they decide to kill us, we'll be dead. So I think we're going to impart the information about where we found out about them from in order to
do you want
see if that leads to anything. Well, I don't see any other way, because we're going to go into a warehouse that's full of them. And I think a full disclosure like that shows we're on their side. And maybe we can call upon the help of their militia later to deal with giant bat things.
Yes.
But if we have to go to Japan, do we want to piss off the Japanese Navy?
No, which is why they mustn't find out. So I'm going to dress up differently this afternoon.
There is quite literally no version of this situation that doesn't result in at least one of the factions getting pissed off with us.
Only if they find out.
That's unlikely.
Be it the Chinese, be it the Japanese, be it the cultists, someone somewhere is going to get pissed off with us.
Yeah, you be careful, because that obviously could kick off a big international incident there.
Well, I'm going to go in disguise, I think. Oh, excuse me. I think I'll go in a disguise, and or Pranit will. Either of us. I don't see the point of us both going in, because it's a chance whoever goes in won't come out.
Yeah. Also, the actual chances of getting out alone are exactly zero. If there's a couple of us, we may get about 25% chances of going out of there.
Well, I believe I can do it. I think imparting the information about who's watching them and how much they know will be useful enough to them that will get out. And then the question is, what can we get in return for that? So I was just going to tell them who we are, and if I don't make it back, they're definitely cultists.
But aren't these people putting together Garrigan's machine?
No, that's the other warehouse. The Japanese guy had a theory that they were building some kind of weapon.
Yeah,
he wasn't sure if it was a machine or a weapon, but it involved a lot of machine parts. And then you said, "Oh yeah, we got rid of a few of those."
I would like, on our way to the brothel or on our way back, to check out this this building that got exceptionally demolished, because I want to see how much damage a building has to get to be considered to be £8,000 sterling's worth of damage. That's an insane amount of money for a building. The only thing I can possibly think of is that they are taking into account the contents of the building.
You might have to ask the author of this chapter about that.
It's 8,000. I mean, as right as
Type it in the chat.
Phil's pushed up there. That's
500,000.
close to £500,000 in today's money. That's an insane amount for a building.
No, I think you're just being Scottish. That really isn't.
I think it must have been Godzilla.
Like this house is like $250,000. That's why the bank owns it and not me.
Yeah, going back to the New China militia, I'm not letting you go there, Annie.
Okay, I have another idea with them then. Let's no-show and have them turn up and kidnap us.
What?
I didn't say it was a better idea. It's just what'll happen if we don't go. So,
Or I go and that's it.
well, then you die.
Everything went.
Yeah, at least one more of my friends won't be in harm's way when I could avoid it.
Everything went silent because everyone was thinking that plan must be so clever. We've got to think about that.
Look, either they're cultists or they're not. I don't think they are.
Are you sure it's not them putting the machine together? Because if it is, it's just a trap. You go in there as a guy.
No, I don't believe they are. I believe they're used as coverage, as covert. Sorry, for other ends they're not part of.
We're just guessing. We need information to confirm either way, don't
We're
we?
all just guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
So
we
let's
all
not
want.
go. Let's not go yet. Let's deal with other stuff. We'll come back to them. Because I think we need to get more information on them.
Yeah. Yes, but they yet don't trust us. If we don't show up, we are burned to them. They won't ever try and contact us again. That's why
we know where they are. I think we need to break into their warehouse first. Well, there's another way to do it, is that we don't go in. We simply knock on the door and hand them a note with a little bit of information on about how we found out about them. We don't put all the information in.
Or we go in and see what happens.
I just think we're going to be massively outnumbered, and if it turns out that they are cultists... I mean, he swallowed that rice paper as we arrived, which... I mean, I thought it might have details of us on, but maybe he just...
Maybe it's just basic espionage.
Yeah, he might have just not wanted something discovered by us.
The only problem, the only worry I have is, given the sort of heightened paranoia of the time that we're in and all these factions, my worry is if you go in alone or even with another person, there is a chance that they'll say, thank you very much for the information, but we really can't allow you to live in the off chance that you get arrested, questioned, and, blow the whistle on us.
Yeah, I believe that's a chance with all the factions we are dealing with.
This is my point.
And aren't they? If you go this afternoon, aren't they expecting? Someone's expecting you for an evening meal later on tonight.
Yes, this is true.
Which is obviously another trap.
Trapception.
See, this is
going to take that place out as well, by the way.
Yeah, this is right. Hear me out on this. Okay.
Now, we wanted information on her, which is why Charles and Perry are doing this investigation into the murders. Because if she's a madame, then it could well, best guess, it could well relate to that. So we may as well start looking into it.
If you're off to get killed this afternoon, we might just spend our time in the bar and just relax a bit.
Well, this is it. We shouldn't have both myself and Pranit die while there's a lead that quite likely, whatever their motivation is, quite likely is the one with the spell books that we need to save the world.
Here's my thought. Just me spitballing here as a player. There is the possibility, given the paranoia, that even if you leave this meeting this afternoon intact, they're going to watch you. And then they go and see you having a meeting with someone else in the evening.
Yeah.
And you're going to be on the shit list.
Yeah, I'd say one of us goes to the warehouse, the other one goes to dinner. So that at least we may manage to...
Let's mix the teams up.
That's not a bad plan, actually.
Okay, so let's form the intelligent team. Myself and one of the other two.
I mean, you
Right, hold on. You
meeting and
see
you
one and the other
understand
two. Who on earth are you leaving out of the equation?
Me.
I don't follow. Right, we'll have the same as before. We'll have the intelligent team and the B team. So who's going to be my partner in the intelligent team?
Well,
In all honesty, I think either Pranit or Perry needs to go with Annie, because if something kicks off, you're gonna need someone who can actually back you up.
Well, I haven't said which team's going where yet.
Well, whoever's going to the warehouse is going to need someone who can fight.
I do believe I'm better going to the warehouse because this madam won't be able to eat on me at dinner.
Won't be able to eat on you. Were you
Hit
thinking
on-
of being a
hit on
table?
With an H.
Hit on.
Oh, hit on.
Hit on her.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my pronunciation is shit. Yes, I meant hit on me. Not...
I heard
Yeah.
it.
Why won't she be able to hit on you?
Because he might be dead.
Go
And
to
as
the
you-
warehouse.
And as you mentioned earlier, necrophilia is really not a good look this year.
If he goes to the warehouse, he wants to go
I mean, he sent...
Oh, you're frigid. You don't want to be hit on. Is that what you mean?
I mean that I already had my fair share with cultist bitches eating on me, so I'm done with that.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, the problem is who was the invitations made out to?
To the brownish atlas and Annie.
Bronze atlas.
Bronze, sorry.
Yes.
So sorry.
I got called voluptuous.
Yes, the voluptuous brunette and the
The voluptuous brown-eyed beauty and the bronze atlas with the sapphire turban.
so not the large Canadian or the sozzling drunk.
No.
I don't think either of us sitting at the table is going to endear us in any way. It's going to have to be one of you two.
No, one of us can go and bring one of the others. The invitation said we could bring our companions.
Yes.
The invitation
In
was to
that
myself
case,
and Pranit.
I think I should enjoy dinner. Quite
Okay.
frankly.
So it'll be myself and Charles. We'll investigate the murder. Pranit and Perry will go to a warehouse and get killed.
Yes.
Sounds good. We are past overdue either way.
Yeah. I'm just getting to know myself, so, you know.
Getting to know you. Getting to know.
We're not in Siam even. Oh dear. Okay then. Right. So, for those of you going to the warehouse, are you planning to go at the designated time in the afternoon, or are you planning to go in your own time, or what do you want to do?
No, I believe we should go at the time established.
Time
Yeah,
established.
yeah. But are we going to the brothel first?
It sounded more like Annie and Charles were gonna.
Yeah,
follow the labyrinth towards the end
we're
of
going to
Shanghai.
investigate. We're going to investigate dead hookers.
Okay.
It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it.
Mhm.
A
Okay,
full,
let's deal.
in-depth investigation.
Let's deal with the dead hookers bit first, then. Okay, so
We'll
after
need
you
the
kind of
translator Li Wencheng.
Li Wencheng. Okay, so you're talking
Okay.
Li, Mr. Li.
I
So
have a question for him actually. Is it
Yeah.
necessary in China to have any kind of license or permit to be a private investigator?
oh, I suppose on an official capacity, but
But if it was a private investigator,
in theory, no, not really. It
Okay.
depends on the business arrangement.
okay.
Why
Just
do you
curious.
say that?
Just curious.
He looks back at Charles and back at Annie.
I just look at him. I just look at
paid
him and
job, you
say, I just look at him, raise my eyebrows, shrug my shoulders, and just say, "Look, right,
The-
there's no point arguing. The decision's been made."
the highest paid job, you say?
What?
You told me this would be my highest paid job.
Oh, yes, it will be. Charles, give him some more money.
Now I see why a little.
No, you really don't.
I take him to the side. Actually,
It's just a
I take him-
question. What?
I take him to the side before we go and say, like, just. I know we probably come across as a little more eccentric than your average hotel
Yes,
guests, but
very, very eccentric.
trust me, by the end of all of this, you will not only have a great deal of money, but you will also have a wonderful story to tell your children and grandchildren.
If they believe me, yes, that is true.
Well, that's the great thing about telling the children and grandchildren. It won't matter if they believe you or not, they'll just think it's a rollicking good tale.
Yes, that is true.
Although you
Okay.
might have to edit out the scene of us going in to talk about dead prostitutes. Might have to not talk about that so much.
He laughs and gives a nod. So, you head to 88 Lantern Street. Back again. And you find it relatively easily. You do vaguely remember where it is after last night's haunts. Currently, the door is closed, but it looks like there's at least a couple of people inside or occupying.
Go in.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, do you knock or do you just head straight in?
Knock.
Okay.
Certainly polite.
Okay. You are greeted by a very pretty young lady who introduced herself as Quivering Jade. And she says, hello, good afternoon. Would you like to come in? Are you looking for pleasure today? You wish to have a look at the girls or boys? And she gestures at Annie.
Yes, we would love to come in. Of course. We would very much love to peruse. Perhaps with a glass of fine wine for myself and the lady.
We can do wine. One moment, please, sir. And she goes off. She doesn't kind of let you in entirely, but she does start getting wine, and you hear her say, you assume that there are people at the door, sort of thing, in Shanghainese. But you see this much older lady who happens to pass and looks at you, quite sort of moodily. She then glances towards Quivering Jade and almost rolls her eyes and says, "Who are you? What do you want? You're too early."
Hello.
Yes, what? What do you want?
We're here trying to stop another murder.
Oh, you're not police?
No, private investigators.
Hmm. Yeah, well, that means that I have to pay you. Not
No.
interested.
No, no, no.
No, our bill is
No.
covered.
Yes, we are acting on behalf of interested parties.
But you are English. Why? This makes no sense.
Yes, indeed. We are both English. And this man here is Chinese, as it happens. We are.
At that point, actually, Lee kind of stops you and says, he says something to her in Shanghainese, and says we should do this properly, the China way, yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And this older woman sort of calms down a little bit, but does allow you into a foyer area where there's sort of low tables, where this quivering jade woman does serve you wine. And yeah, that it's very much kind of he is the diplomat, the middleman. He talks business and things and so on. But yeah, I'm happy for you to carry on anyway. And what you were saying.
So we understand that a young lady, unfortunately, was killed here by
Yes.
am I to understand by a bat?
One of the girls thinks it's large bat, yes. But she is in hospital now. She is no use to me anymore.
What is her name and what hospital is she at? I would love to talk to her later.
I did have the name, but now I've lost it. Magenta Joy. And she is in, I believe it's the Shanghai General Hospital.
Perhaps you can tell us what happened from your perspective as best as you understand it.
I was asleep at the time, so I don't know much. But I heard a large noise. There were a few clients here that evening, and she was one of them. Quivering Jade was not, but also Choi Ming Ling, I think, was here as well. And Reparator Wong was killed. Her client as well, Mr. Chin, was. They were in the middle of their session, and it happened above their room. So they were killed instantly.
And what did happen above their room?
Well, it sounded like a large cawing sound from a bird outside. I didn't really understand, and then parts of the room came in and caved in.
Did it have did you see this creature at all, actually? You say a cawing sound.
No creature.
No creature.
I did not see. When I came down, the rubble was all there.
Did any of your patrons or employees here see this bird?
No, apart from Miss Magenta. It was quite a quiet night.
Is the damage to the roof still there? Could we have a look?
Some of it, yes. You may look.
Thank you.
But we have had A man stay with us lately. I bet he had something to do with it.
What was his name?
She kind of rolls her eyes as if she didn't even bother learning the name, and Quivering Jade sort of interjects and says, I believe his name was John?
Have we had any
He-
Johns on our list?
He stayed with Choi Min Ling. But and then she kind of starts talking again, but then this older woman interjects again and says, Choi Min Ling, she was sold off, but now she's gone as well. It is bad luck for all the brothels along this street.
What is bad luck?
Well, this happening to my brothel, to my flower girl house, girls disappearing. It is bad for business.
Your cargo house?
You are sorry?
You said your house? Here?
Flower girl house. Yes.
Yes.
It's what they call a brothel.
Oh,
So you sold Choi Ming Ling to another flower girl house, and she's since disappeared. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And this John, do you know a last name at all?
No, American man. Choi Mei Ling was too fond of him, so in the end I got rid of her.
do you
Isn't
you
Jack
remember what
by
this,
chance?
do you remember what this gentleman looked like?
Saw him once or twice.
We'll get out the
strong build.
photograph of the Carlisle expedition. Is it one of these?
Maybe him. And she points at Jack.
Does the name Jack sound more likely, perhaps?
No, it was John.
Okay. So you could be using an alias.
Also, I bet, again, back in those days, an awful lot of people used Jack or John as almost an interchangeable first name.
Oh,
Yes, indeed.
interesting. Okay. Let's go take a look at that damage.
Yes.
Do you have any Mexican silver dollar?
Mexican silver dollars.
Mm.
It's a rather
Good.
specific currency request.
Well, you know by now that that's one of the main currencies over in Shanghai at the minute.
Oh, right. Okay. I assume Charles has a number of coinages or notes or something.
Was there a bureau de change in the hotel?
Yes. There
Big
will be
enough
a
one.
bureau de
Yeah, I
change.
will cross our palm with silver, as they say.
Xia, I will give you a tour. She introduced herself, by the way, as everyone calls her Auntie Guy. Although her name is Guy, of course. But yes, she shoos Quivering Jade away, and there's a couple of other girls as well who kind of come down to see what's going on. But she goes through to this room. Basically, yeah, there's quite a lot of the ceiling that's come in, but also there's a lot of the furnishings as well that have been completely destroyed. The ceiling, walls, and so on is spattered with blood all over.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Does it look like... Well, I'm looking at the damage that's been done in here. Does it look like... Well, first of all, the one I know, Biyaki. I'd recognize that, presumably.
A general look makes you think it could be a bigger creature than a
Something
Biyaki.
bigger than a Biyaki. Okay.
Oh, shit.
And there's no claw marks or feathers or a loose scale?
I'll say there's definitely claw marks, especially in the fabric. Yeah, but there's no scales or anything left behind.
Okay, so from the size of the claw marks, how big do I estimate the claw is? How far apart are the talons?
Yeah, they're quite far. So possibly one of the large flying creatures you've encountered in this campaign.
Yeah, I was about to say I really hoped we'd get away with never having to encounter them again, because they're nasty and scary and big and huge and frightening. Not necessarily in that order.
Okay. Well, I think we should go and talk to Magenta Joy, but all she's really what we need to find Choi Ming Ling. But who was Choi Ming Ling sold to?
Mei Ling.
Choi Mei Ling.
Yeah. He was sold to man at 140 Lantern Street, up the street.
I think that should be our next port of call, because if we can find Choi Mei Ling, we might well find Jack Brady.
Yeah.
So yeah, we won't waste any more time here. We'll pop up to 140 Lantern Street.
Okay. Yeah, it's not far. So you are greeted by this manager, male manager of the brothel. Quite old, maybe in his 50s by now. So he's got graying hair and so on, quite wrinkly. But you notice, Annie, straight away from your knowledge of the occult, that he's got these robes on which are embroidered with symbols that I guess try and depict Taoism, but actually it's a load of rubbish and gobbledygook.
Mm-hmm.
But he greets you first in Chinese and then tries to speak in English, but it's quite difficult for him to do so. He actually gets one of the girls who's better to speak for him almost, and she says, "Yes, hello. What can I do you for?"
Hello. We're trying to find Choi Mei Ling. I understand she came by this way.
Choi Mei Ling. And yeah, you notice that he obviously recognizes that name. And she says, and there's also translations from Lee as well. Yes, she was sold here, but she never came. She went missing.
What, between that building and this one?
Yes.
Do you know who was escorting her?
She, we think, walking alone.
Right, so I think Brady must have grabbed her in the street then.
Possible.
Did she speak any other... Oh, I don't suppose you know if she spoke any other languages. Her English was good, was it?
I would have to check. But you notice as well, whenever you mention her name, you see Lee's, let's say his nostrils kind of flare a little bit, because the manager is talking in Shanghainese. You think it's a bit derogatory. When you mention her and things. Where is the stats?
The manager is talking about her in a derogatory manner.
Yes.
Yeah, but whatever he's saying, we don't know. But he does.
Yeah, but you kind of get from the tone and his reaction as well. Let's see.
We believe... All right, I'm going to say it. We believe we know who took her. Does that pique his interest at all?
Sort of, yeah.
Show him the picture.
Have you seen this man? And yeah, we'll show the picture of the Carlisle expedition, and I'll point to Brady.
Okay. He does nod. He does nod at that.
Do you know where he is now?
He just shakes his head.
When did you last see him?
He thinks and says, week, 2 week.
When did the lady go missing?
After kind of more talking, you think maybe it's more like a matter of days ago. They also say that her English was apparently good, from what they know.
Makes sense.
It really depends on one aspect, but we don't have enough information about it.
What Tao type, like Tao, is there like some kind of greeting, or I know nothing about it, so but my character apparently does.
It's literally like made up words. You know a bit like if you get like a Chinese tattoo and it just says random rubbish on it. It's kind of like that, but he wants to appear like he's into that sort of stuff, whereas actually he was just conned into a
yeah. But I'm just wondering what the stereotype is, and that's why I want to sort of do something stereotypical yin yang. Okay. Okay. Because if he's presenting as that, if I can try and sort of relate, try and get more out of him, you see, that's what I was thinking. Okay. All right. Well,
I think we might. I think as much as we might not get anything other than confirmation, we might now have to visit Magenta.
yeah. I think I'll go to turn to leave, and then I'll do the Columbo thing. I turn back around. One more thing.
Yes.
Have you heard the name the Pale Viper?
They look blankly at you.
Oh, and Madame Swallow.
Hi. Yes.
What can you tell me about Madame Swallow?
Her name is Madame Lin Yen Yu, which means swallow, like the bird.
Mm-hmm.
She is... yes, thank you, Charles. She is a very renowned madam in Shanghai. She owns many brothels, and she lives outside of Shanghai, but she has come back here recently. I'm not sure why, but I have heard that she is here recently.
Thank you. And
in fact, they could even give you the address.
A third more thing.
We'll definitely take the address, though.
I'm sure I saw the address in here, but maybe not. This is so small.
I assumed the invite had an address on, but I'm guessing that
it had the address of the restaurant, but not
the actual
brothel and stuff.
She's moving and she's meeting in neutral turf.
Yes, so I thought I saw it. It's still in the old city, but it's further south of this restaurant. So it's maybe let's see, what's the scale on here? About half a mile south.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I might actually do that next. Just have a look at the house, just from the outside, just to get an idea. A third last thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of the Order of the Bloated Woman?
They look at each other, and they obviously tense up a little bit when they hear it.
Oh.
Pay dirt.
They are fanatics, well funded.
By whom?
We do not know. All
You
sorts of
suspect?
people. We do not suspect anybody, but they are great in number, and they seem to move across Shanghai and beyond.
So the great whisperings that happen between institutions and peoples around a large city like this, you've heard of this particular group, but no whispers at all regarding those who pull the strings, bank or otherwise.
They keep their cards close to their chest.
And how well do you know Ho Fong?
Ho Fong, he has a large import-export business. He does not visit us. He does not come down here.
Everyone seems to know him. It's interesting. Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
As we head out, I sort of turn to Annie and I say, we've been working on the possible assumption that Mr. Brady is somehow involved with this cult. I'm going to throw another hypothesis out at you. That he's working against them.
Yeah, that was our original hypothesis. Then we became suspicious that that might not be correct.
Well, it could explain two factors, which could be the same thing actually, just two parts of. It could be the reason he has stowed away his friend in a hospital. It could be the reason that she has went missing. He might have stowed her away somewhere. Maybe she was important to the cult in some way, and he wanted her out of the way. Put her in a safe place.
Yes, everything that we've come across so far is inconclusive as to Brady's motivations. We still don't really know.
Yeah.
Speaking of
frustrating.
people of whom have unclear motivations and could well result in player character deaths, Pranit and Perry.
Yes.
Yes. I'm literally just trying to find the right blimmin. Because I still don't know where everything is. It's all in a weird order. Here we go.
Also, if you turn to me as we're walking out, does that mean you're then walking side on to the door that we're trying to walk out of?
Wait, what?
Because like if we're both walking towards the door, Ronnie described himself as turning to
No,
me.
I said after we left.
So I've gone out, and you've
No, I
walked
said
in.
after we'd left. I said after we'd left.
I'm sorry, I'm just the geography of that statement never works in my mind.
Okay. Right. So the other two of you head on over to Cheongsan Road, as per the address and also what Isuke Taro tipped you off on. And basically it's near the waterfront. I'm just gonna make a quick roll. Okay. It's a fairly well enforced warehouse in terms of structure, and there are these large sliding doors, although you do see a smaller door kind of embedded within the larger ones. that you can knock at. And when you do, somebody slides a little window open.
We are here to see Chu Min, please.
Okay. They don't say anything. They close the window, open the door, and you see that they've got a rifle in their hand. And they just sort of size the two of you up a bit. Who sent you?
Chu Min himself. He gave us appointment here at this time.
Wait here. And he closes the door again. As he does so, you actually hear the sound almost like a grunting of a good sort of 20 people, as if maybe they're either running or jumping or something physical all together or something. But anyway, he comes back after maybe a minute or so, and he's accompanied by a couple of other people, also with rifles. And he opens the door and says, Chu Min will see you.
Well, thank you. Lead the way.
And yeah, they take you around, and it's quite a big warehouse with lots of different rooms and kind of alcoves and things. The noise that you were hearing earlier, it sounds like people actually training to fight various sort of martial arts moves as well, things like that. And you can't help but notice as well that in certain areas, there's quite a lot of small armories and things. You don't know exactly what's in them because they're well guarded or locked up away and stuff. But it certainly, from your experience as a soldier, Pranit, you definitely don't think it's just going to be guns. It's going to be potentially more heavy duty stuff that's in there.
They've got a lot of hardware.
But anyway, so yeah, you head on. You kind of go through into a bit of a quieter area. It seems to be like an office or a map room or something. And you do see Chu Min, who's peering over a map of some sorts. But also, to your surprise, Jack Brady is there as well.
Ooh.
And I think we'll leave it there on a good.
Guess who's not dying? Guess who?
Well, guess who's about to get absolutely riddled in bullets because we found the cults?
Sorry, Becky. We're not the intelligent group, but we are the lucky one.
You're
muted, Becky.
I wouldn't call you lucky. What did you make that previous assertion when you said guess who's about to not die? Did you think that was you?
Yes.
Why? We still don't know what side Brady's on.
I'm unsure which side Brady's on.
I mean,
I'm 60% think he's good.
Yeah,
I'm about 75.
Place your bets. Place your bets.
I do think he's on. I think he's stashed Carlisle for his own good.
I think so, but that it could just mean they're keeping him handy until they need his corpse or body as a vessel or whatever.
And why should you have said he's now in Burma or where the fuck he told he was? Singapore. Where we got? I believe he's hiding from the actual cult.
Way I see it, if the cultists kill him, then we'll know he was a good guy.
So we wait.
I think it'd be definitive proof.
He's here training these troops, isn't he? That's what he's doing.
That's what I think so.
Maybe. I mean, it does explain why they knew about all of the different. He seemed to recognize Gavagan's name. He knew Ho Feng, whatever. But everyone seemed to know Ho Feng. That's the other thing. So that one kind of, blurs it again. But Gavagan didn't seem unfamiliar to him.
No.
Which is unusual for Shanghai. So he definitely was informed about the cult, which made me really suspicious of Chu Min.
Yeah, I mean, given what we knew, Chumi smelled of shit, of course. I'm not going to argue with that.
It was Gavigan's notes where they talked about Jack Brady being somebody they failed to deal with. But what was it? It was when we were in Hong Kong we got suspicious, wasn't it? There was something in Hong Kong that made us suspicious. I can't remember what it was.
Well, no, it wasn't so much that we were being suspicious. We were playing all the angles. We were, when we saw Carlisle in that hospital, we all kind of went, oh, well, hold on a minute. He might be there because he's been kept. Oh, but then again, he might be there because they need to hold on to him. And I think, we sort of played, we played devil's advocate on ourselves.
Too much, really, sometimes.
Well, I've just thought of a reason why I'm 98% sure Jack Brady is a good guy. Because not only was the whole Gavigan letter about Brady, about him being good, but also Jason ended the session here, right? Whereas if they were bad guys and you were about to die, he would have dealt with that first so he could create new characters for next week.
They were?
My rationale for why Brady's a good guy.
Yeah, we've Becky has logically assumed that Brady is a good guy, or at least on our side, based on the not illogical train of thoughts that if he'd been a bad guy, you would have killed Pranit and Perry tonight, so they could have made new characters ready for next week.
Not necessarily. You've seen me kill people at the start of a session before.
That's true, actually. He has kept me basically waiting an entire session.
Yeah.
Just in case your ghost wants to say something. There is one thing about these people being cultists, is they've got a lot of weapons, and we don't normally see the cultists collecting so many guns.
Well,
Still, maybe Brady is trying to do what we did in Kenya. So hiring militia to fight a cult. I mean, we did it. It's only fair he could do something similar to that.
To be fair, though, when we've been in some of the really big metropolitan cities, when we were in New York, they were tooled up. When we were in London, they were tooled up.
Yeah, but they only had knives and things. They didn't have like heavy machine guns and
that's because Jack Brady's doing what we should be doing. He's doing it properly to fight the cult.
Yeah, he's getting organized.
Heavy weapons, trained men. Like, you think about how well we did in New York, right? We had the backup of that like
we did
group, right? Then we go to London and we completely fucked it up because we had no backup. And then, we go to China and, well, that not China, Egypt. It didn't exactly go right. There were deaths because, we didn't have backup. So, it was kind of a mixed bag, that one. Go to Kenya, we got backup. It worked. See, what you're seeing here with Jack Brady is what we've been blindly stumbling through and accidentally doing it right sometimes. Well, this is how you actually do it right. This is like what we should have done is gone to China first and got the template for how to do it.
Well, funnily enough, in the book, I don't know if I told you this, it doesn't say this anywhere else, but only at the start of the China chapter, which happens to be the last one in the books, it says, by the way, this is most likely to be the last chapter of the campaign or the one straight after New York. It's like, thank you so much.
I don't think that.
Although, obviously, for you guys, you've got Australia to go to. But yeah, it's most likely, it's usually the last one, like the climax and stuff.
Why? Does it make geographic sense to do Shanghai?
Yeah, and more than that, it means basically that we missed a shit ton of clues in America that would send us directly here.
Yeah, there were clues that you did miss in New York, which could have directed you more to Australia. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, though, with any particularly a huge investigation like this, we're gonna miss stuff.
Yeah, but in terms of why you went to China, it makes perfect sense. So again, it's a sandbox. It doesn't matter where you go first or
Honestly, I
last
don't
or-
know what we missed.
We're gonna
in New
die
York.
either way, so it doesn't really matter.
I don't know what we missed in New York, but it seems really
Well, no,
logical
because you didn't find it.
no, but it seems logical to retrace what Jackson Elias was doing.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, yes.
Yeah.
And logically speaking, London was closest.
Yes. Yep.
You know,
And
and
that's a
then from
very
there,
likely second place to
we
go
we,
to,
we
yes.
went we geographically
did
went to
do
closest.
London. We did some weird thing in the Midlands first that Jason had to invent a new chapter for.
No. I found some info. It made a lot of sense because you wanted to research more on that book, and that was very nice, and it was quite relevant to the whole campaign, so it was fine. You did Liverpool and then went down to London.
And shit.
Yes. Got all tied up in the intrigue and all that, and then fucked up a bit.
London didn't go well either, did it?
No, London didn't go well. No, let's be honest. We fucked up, and I admit I was part of it.
Could have gone way better.
I am working on behalf of Eric Carlyle. I just want to tie up some loose ends.
There was that. And there was also sitting down with Shafiq. Thinking,
Here are some weird pictures. Tell me what you know.
But in my defence, I was trying to recruit her as a kind of Harlem Hellcats.
Well, I mean, that is possible.
So what we need to do
from
now is
recruiting Shafiq?
Yeah, she can really kind of go either way, depending on what you do or how you approach her.
Really? So I nearly did it then.
No, you didn't.
Oh.
But
Not even
for that
close.
reason, she's one of my favorite characters in the whole campaign. She can really be molded to however you want, really.
So
What did I do wrong?
What we need to do now is, before we leave China, is hire a load of mercenaries and train them on the ship to Australia.
We've got a load of mercenaries. We're stealing Jack's. Let's just shoot him and take our mercenaries. It's loot. It's basically loot on his corpse. Like, he'll have a key card. Command Chinese militia.
A key? What?
Yeah, it'd be like a
like Firefly.
No, it'd be like a megaphone thing, like a computer game when you kill a monster and you take the loot off the corpse. He'll have some kind of command and control loot thing, or like a flute of commanding armies, and then we take that, and then we've got our army, and then we go invade Australia.
A certain person's kind of got that already in spell form, but he refuses to use it.
Coward.
I keep forgetting that one. Yeah, I've never cast it yet.
I keep forgetting.
Can you please cast it at some point? It's a really cool spell.
Okay.
Will do.
It might be our only way out of this warehouse.
There have been several examples I can think of where you could have tried it. At least there's a reason why I gave it to you.
But if we're relying on that to get at the warehouse,
we're not rely, but that there is a large amount of people in it, so yeah. But yes, I guess we'll see how you deal with Brady and hopefully not completely alienate him or try and murder him or anything else. Depending on whose side he's on, of course.
It's a good guy.
Also, you're talking to Perry and I, not to Francoise. So
yeah,
I know.
I guess he'll live.
We have to see if we can get a cruiser or a battleship off the Japanese Navy to go to Australia with. Plenty of backup.
We'll see how that goes.
The Australians will love that. We'll turn up with a Chinese army on a Japanese battleship. I mean, I'm not too sure the Japanese will go for that, to be honest, but let alone the Australians.
Well, that's all right. If we anchor offshore up in the north somewhere, there'll be no one around, will there?
And no land. Why would we anchor offshore? Run this by me again? I'm confused.
Well, you can't take the ship on shore. You have to anchor it offshore.
Okay.
They use smaller boats to get to the shore.
Yes.
But
At some point, you bump into the shore.
you do, yeah. But at top of northern Australia, there just hardly anyone there, is there?
So why would we go there?
Well, there's Darwin, which is North Australia, which is one of your leads.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Let's go there then.
Anyway, on that note,
Anyway.
let's end for today. It is very hot, so
Yes.
let's finish the stream, and we will see you on Saturday after a few missed episodes, as well as Monday, of course. Thank you to everyone watching / still watching in the future, or what have you, because there are a few of you. Thank you so much, and we will see you later. Bye bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.